In the first of its kind, the European Space Agency is attempting an assisted re-entry for one of its now defunct satellites. Named Aeolus, the satellite is set to descend to Earth on the 28th of July. The agency said that it's doing its part to clean up the growing space debris orbiting above our heads. Launched in August 2018, the satellite was the first to measure the winds of Earth from space in 2018. But now, almost 5 years since its launch, its fuel is almost over. The European Space Agency, or ESA, has said that the satellite is currently falling around 1 kilometer a day. Under normal circumstances, small objects in lower orbits often re-enter the atmosphere after a few years and mostly burn up during their descent. But debris left at higher altitudes continue to circle Earth for hundreds or even thousands of years. But in a first of its kind, ESA experts are using the spacecraft's remaining fuel to steer it back to the Earth.
At ESA, we're convinced that this is the responsible way to act. We want to demonstrate if it works, or at least that something can attempt to be done to reduce an already very small risk of it harming anybody or anything. But we would like to try to make it as safe as possible for everyone. And by attempting this with the current spacecraft design, which was not meant, of course, for this purpose, but there are still maybe some mitigations measures that can be done to reduce even further any sort, to make it safer in a nutshell.
Even if this assisted re-entry procedure goes according to the plan, not all of the satellite will make it back to the Earth. Once it enters the 80 kilometers mark, most of it will burn up in the atmosphere. Only 20% or less will survive the re-entry. The satellite is expected to land into the Atlantic Ocean on the 28th of July. ESA says that the attempt is a part of its commitment to lessen the growing amount of space debris in the orbit. According to the ESA, there are around 10,000 spacecraft currently in space, 2,000 of which are not functional. These bits of non-functional space junk can be dangerous to other working satellites and spacecrafts. One tiny collision could trigger a big chain reaction known as the Kessler effect. In 2022, in the world's first known unintentional lunar collision, a Chinese rocket debris allegedly collided with the moon. The collision created a 65 feet wide crater on the moon.
Access to space is very big now. It's very open. There's a lot of constellations being launched and a lot of satellites up there. And if we don't act in this sustainable and responsible way, this is something that could very quickly get out of control. So every agency, every company that has access to space should act responsibly. And this is what we're trying to do, to set an example, and not just with words, but with actions.
The European Space Agency has claimed that each satellite it develops from 2030 onwards will be debris neutral, meaning that they will clear the Earth's orbit once the mission is complete.